Hey, this is Mike from Junkie on Crafts and Builds, and this is the impressions and unboxing of the Valaverse Action Force Power-Con exclusive for 2023, the Swarm Horde. Now, Valaverse was really cool in regards to the availability of this figure. I was able to purchase two, so let's just go ahead and look at this box now. This is the first deluxe box packaging we get from Valaverse, and it's a really cool window display that really showcases the figure and the accessories that come with them. The blister card that usually goes in front of these figures is gone, and right now he's just being held by one plastic strap. On the side of the boxes, you get this really cool half of it, and if you get multiple boxes, you can complete the image, and that is really cool. I really like it a lot. So we'll get that second box out of the way. Let's rotate to the back here. So here's the back of the box. And as you can see, we have a lot of product shots of the Swarm Horde. Looks really cool. This figure, being a deluxe, is actually worth 5 action points. Keep those action points. So let's just go ahead and bring up the bio card here. And you can pause and check that out if you wish. All right, so that's everything for the box. Let's get this guy out and start looking at accessories. So starting off with accessories, we have the Action Force stand. And this is what we've been so used to seeing with all of Bobby Vala's figure releases. It has that really cool texture across it with the Action Force name pressed inside there, and we have 4 pegs. Next, we have the Vector assault weapon. Again, this is a sculpt that we are very familiar with all the Swarm figures that we've had so far. This one is in that red and black deco. It does have a blast hole for blast effects. And the Swarm Horde has 0 problems holding that in either one of the trigger holding hands. Speaking of hands, what would a Valaverse figure be without multiple hand options? So of course we have 2 trigger hands. We have a pair of open action cupping hands. We have a pair of fist hands. And finally, we will have a pair of C or gripping hands. And with all the hands, they hinge in and out, while the trigger hands hinge up and down. What we have next we have his knife, which is black plastic for the blade and silver paint for the handle, and that slides into the back belt scabbard. It has no issues. Next item we have is his Maxim 9 pistol, and just like before, it slides perfectly into the side leg holster. But with this one, we also get this backpack. We already seen this design before with the gear packs for the Swarm Trooper. But this is in a really cool color scheme. The red translucent for the wings is amazing. The black and silver, it's just really cool. It slides effortlessly into the back of the Horde and has that cut in so the armor holds it in place. The final accessory that comes with this pack is the Horde Swarm Shield, just in a gray with the red translucent. And here is the Horde Swarm all geared up, looking really cool. I mean, we've seen it before, but I really think it's just the color scheme. So that's all the accessories. Let's get these off so we can get a closer look at the figure. Here's the figure. We've seen this body before. We've seen all the parts and pieces. What really sets this apart are 2 things. One, the new head sculpt, and we're going to get in close here to check it out. So like I said, one of the main things about this figure is the new head sculpt that Bobby Vala designed. And if you look here nice and close on it, it's really cool looking, and it looks much more insect and animal-like, which kind of fits into the whole theme of the Power-Con Master of the Universe type of feel. We have this red translucent hive eye that kind of goes around the front of the face. It is that same honeycomb style of eye. And then the mouth here has been totally redesigned. Definitely looks like he has more like pincers for the face and the nose here. And then we have these 2 protrusions out here on the back of the head. Again, it's really cool. Definitely different enough to highlight what these guys are supposed to be doing. Otherwise, it's all about the color combination. I think the black, gray, and red just makes this guy look scary, really. So again, the red highlights on the black really make this pop. One thing I will say that has been the first time I've ever experienced anything with an Action Force figure in this is I'm getting a little bit of paint chip. So you can see here at the cuff for the wrist, when I was switching out hands, that started to chip. Other things I noticed out of the box with this copy was I was starting to get paint flicks here at the knee joint. So you can see this is actually a gray piece that's painted black around here. That's kind of unfortunate, but it's also a movable piece. But because of that, something else that kind of is a little off-putting, and we haven't seen it with the other Swarm troopers, is because that's a gray piece and it's not painted, you get this really distinct breakup when you bend the knees. The other ones, the Swarm troopers and stuff, would be silver or black all across. This is gray, and it kind of cuts into that color scheme. Again, not horrible, but it is something that's different that I'm not used to seeing with Bobby's figures. But overall, does not hinder my pleasure of this guy one bit. I go through articulation, but there's other figures that we've had within Valaverse. The articulation is the same across the board, you know, with the ball hinge for the neck. Swarm, because of the cut of the design, the arms can only go to about a 45 before you really start manipulating this to get it higher. And I don't want to scratch the paint. And we get the bicep swivel with a double jointed elbow. We already talked about the hands and the wrists. We've got this really great torso articulation, so you can get a good ab crunch down and back. And I will say, with each series release, these joints move so much better, and these have a different feel. I don't know if it's the change in the plastic or what, but they just work. I have not had to heat this guy up at all. I didn't have to heat him up to take the hands off. So again, kudos to the Valaverse team for their design and making changes to improve their figures. So let's just go ahead and bring out some other figures. And this is the main comparison I wanted to bring to everyone's attention. This is the entire Swarm group that we've had from Valaverse to this point. Starting from the original release of the Swarm Trooper, which is right here. And as you can tell, like I said, it's a straight one-to-one copy of this guy from Wave 1 and also from the SDS. Then we also have the other Swarm exclusive, and this was the BotCon 21 Wasp Raider. Very sought after. Unfortunately, Bobby's not going to make any more of these. Then we also have the Heavy Trooper here, the Scarab, and then the Swarm Sentry, which, kind of reading the bio, he's kind of like a kind of like more of a field commander for a Swarm group. The variety of color schemes still complement each other, kind of show a cohesive unit. That is the Swarm Troopers. So let's go to final thoughts. So final impressions of the Power-Con exclusive Horde Swarm from Valaverse. Again, it's another knockout. The color scheme deco really makes this guy pop, and the new head sculpt that's exclusive to this guy just really makes him an imposing figure. And if you look at the bio card from the beginning of the video, the Swarm Horde are kind of like the special assassin groups of the Swarm Collective. These guys are stealthy enough that you're not going to hear them. If you want to add this guy to your collection, I highly recommend him. Just be a little careful, like I said, with my copy. The paint on the back here started chipping a little bit, and again around where you start to manipulate the hands and at the wrist joint. But those are really minor items for a really great figure. I think he's going to look great next to the Vanguard when it gets released, especially if Bobby does do the gray and black. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Collect your Valaverse, collect your classified, just enjoy collecting. And we'll talk again soon. Bye.